Welcome back to Flix Frog's Top 10. I really do enjoy doing these lists, and this is going to be my top 10 favorite movies of 2023. It was a hectic year, started off strong, got a little weak in the middle, then there was an actor strike or writer strike. So, yeah, just a lot going on, but I'm going to just get on with it and give you my list, and this is in no particular order, just my favorite films of the year, ones I enjoyed. To start with an earlier one that I saw, number 10, Creed 3, directed by Michael B. Jordan, starring Michael B. Jordan and Jonathan Majors. This was a fantastic entry in the Rocky saga, focusing on Adonis Creed. Presence from his past comes back into the picture, and why he wasn't there or mentioned in the previous films, of course, is a matter of script. He didn't exist, but Jonathan Majors portrays Dame perfectly and effortlessly. He is a great villain, one of the best villains to appear in Rocky. I thoroughly enjoyed the anime influences in the fights. I think that Michael B. Jordan is going to be a tremendous director once he gets a few more films under his belt. And I like I said, even like the story, I really enjoyed it. I can't wait to see what they do in Creed 4. The Winklers have announced that Michael B. Jordan will direct the next one as well. Will Jonathan Majors be back? We don't know. He had that trial this year. He was found guilty on those two small charges. It's really frustrating. Hopefully he appeals and, his life gets back on track. But yes, really, really enjoyed Creed 3. I wish that Sylvester Stallone was in the movie as Rocky. It did seem odd that he was not there, especially at the funeral scene for Adonis's mom. But, I think there's still room for him to reappear in the franchise. Rocky is an older character. They can easily write up any reason why he would not have appeared in the film. Number 9, another film I saw earlier in the year, Blackberry. Blackberry was nowhere on my radar. I didn't even know this movie was coming out. But, I saw the trailer and I got a chance to watch it at one of my film festivals in the year. I can't remember exactly which one it was. So I got a chance to watch it at South by Southwest. Luckily, they sent me a digital screener for it, and I thoroughly enjoyed this movie. Glenn Howerton was fantastic in this movie, and I hope somehow he squeaks his way into an Academy Award nomination. It is not looking like, he's going to get up in there, but wow, I thoroughly enjoyed his performance. Jay Baruchel as well. And the movie's about the founding of the BlackBerry phone, and it was very informative. I think they've even released an extended version as a mini-series that you can watch. I have not seen that version yet. I want to. I want to see what scenes they took out. But yeah, this is one of my favorites of the year. I can't wait for them to release a 4K Blu-ray so I can buy it. Thoroughly enjoyed this. Number 8, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem. This movie was fun. I went with my friend Dale, my daughter, and she really liked Ninja Turtles after seeing this. It's a different take on the origin of the Turtles. They're basically the same. They have the same names and, the same abilities, but how they learn ninjutsu and martial arts is totally different. Like Splinter and all of them, they watch like videotapes and learn how to fight. It is not some kind of, Splinter was the pet of a ninja, or he used to be a human ninja who got turned into a rat. It's totally different, and it works for this incarnation. I like the animation, I like the style, I like the musical influence. It was great, the score, the soundtrack, and I can't wait to see the sequel. Apparently it's getting a TV show as well that's going to streaming. I don't really care when they try to stretch the universe out for streaming that much. Hopefully that's good, but I really do want to see what they bring in the sequel. Apparently it's supposed to have Shredder, and we'll see if the Utroms come back. They're hinted at in this film, but thoroughly enjoyed this piece. Number 7, American Fiction. Another film that was not on my radar, but I do love Jeffrey Wright. I love Sterling K. Brown. I had the chance to interview both of them after this film. Unfortunately, I was not able to ask a question. They're very long-winded when they talk, but you can tell that they enjoyed working on this film, and I enjoyed it. I watched it with my wife for award season, and it's just one of those black comedies that you just don't quite expect. And the premise is basically like this well-read, well-spoken black author's tired of these ghetto books coming out, so he writes one in anger And of course, it gets picked up and becomes like this big hit, and it really frustrates him. And Jeffrey Wright plays that intellectual, frustrated black man very well, and he's just a great actor. He's definitely, I can't say definitely, I hope he also gets, a Best Actor nomination coming up at the Oscars. But yeah, this is definitely one. It's not for everybody. It is not for everybody, but I do think it is an enjoyable film. Number 6, John Wick Chapter 4. John Wick Chapter 4 was a great, at least for now, finale to the John Wick franchise. They've gotten so far from what the beginning was, but it still works. Keanu Reeves is giving it his all. Chad Stahelski, the direction of this film was superb. It's like 3 hours long, and I did not feel bored at any point. The cinematography, beautiful. The scene where he's shooting people with like the dragon's breath shotgun rounds, which at the time of me watching the movie, which I also saw this during South by Southwest, I thought that was fake. I thought they made that up for the movie. And then I looked it up and I found out, no, you can actually buy these rounds. And I went shooting with my brothers-in-law and we shot some clay pigeons and whatever, and I was like, guys, we should buy some Dragon's Breath shotgun shells and shoot clay pigeons. And they're like, do you want to burn down the forest? But yeah, the whole movie was beautiful. It was a great send-off for the character. Apparently John Wick 5 is in the works, but John Wick is dead, or at least he appears to be dead. I know apparently they're saying he actually is alive, but Keanu Reeves didn't want to put it on camera. I like the fact that he finally died. And if he isn't dead, I think his story is over. If they do make John Wick 5, they should name the movie John Wick is Dead. And it should just be about like all the people that he has affected and what, with him beating the high table, what are the repercussions. And you can have Keanu Reeves appear in flashbacks of like him interacting with other people. But I think that would be a great final chapter. Of course, we got that teaser at the end for what will happen with the fan favorite character Kane, portrayed by Donnie Yen. To see what happened with him in another film is interesting to me. Number 5, Oppenheimer. I am always interested in a Christopher Nolan movie. Oppenheimer is on my most anticipated films of 2023 list, and of course Nolan delivered. I think this is his best biopic by far. It's better than his previous one about Churchill. I think he did this one well. He made making an atomic bomb sexy. He made it informative. He made it interesting even at 3 hours long. Cillian Murphy is clearly taking home the Oscar for Best Actor. Robert Downey Jr. is taking home the Oscar for Best Supporting Actor. And I think Nolan is taking home Best Director and Best Film. It is that good. And sorry if I sound a little stuffy, but just imagine if Warner Brothers hadn't ruined their relationship with him. They could have had Oppenheimer and Barbie do buku numbers this year. It would have both been under the Warner Brothers banner, and they would have been at the top, especially after having all of those DC films fail. It's just, funny when you think about it like that. Number 4, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. Best animated film of the year. It is definitely going to win the Oscar for Best Animated Film. It is an amazing story. It is an amazing second piece of this journey where we're following Miles and him meeting the rest of the Spider people. I was emotional in watching it. The opening with Gwen, the animation across the different universes, it's a beautiful story. And originally we were going to get Beyond the Spider-Verse this year. But of course, the strikes and all this stuff happened. And, now the animators are unionizing, or the effects artists, whoever, and they just weren't ready. So they're pushing this back. It is undated now. Hopefully it's out by 2025. And the box office for these movies just keep going up. They keep going up. The last one, I think, it did moderately well. This one did even better. This should have the third one do even better, as long as, the Marvel Cinematic Universe continues. I know it is its own thing, but with the multiverse saga happening and Shamik Moore even mentioning, hey, if I ever show up in live action, I still want to play Miles. I don't want them to recast. So it would be nice if something like that happened. You got Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, Tom Holland, all of them appearing in a film together. It's just a matter of time before maybe they jump into animation. You even had Childish Gambino appear as a live-action version of the Prowler from the MCU in this movie. So I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed this. This is my favorite animated movie of the year, above Turtles. I know I said this list isn't in any order, but whenever they make that Mutant Mayhem sequel, do not put it in the same year as the Spider-Verse sequel. Because I think Mutant Mayhem, if Spider-Verse hadn't been released this year, Mutant Mayhem may have taken home the Oscar. I know you got the Studio Ghibli movie, The Boy and the Heron, and you have Suzume. Those are also great animated films. They didn't make it into my top 10, but they're probably within like the top 20, 25. But yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed Spider-Man. Can't wait to see them take home that Oscar again. Number 3, The Color Purple, 2023, directed by Blitz Bazawule. I went into this movie thinking, why are we making it? Why are we remaking such a classic? Steven Spielberg did a great job with The Color Purple. It is a staple in a lot of black households. I've seen that movie so many times. I was not sure why they needed to remake it, but then I found out this remake is actually based on the Broadway musical of The Color Purple. It is based on the book like the original movie, but it's different from the original movie in that it's more uplifting. There's music, there's singing. So I was like, well, let's see what this is. Guys, I gave this film a 10 out of 10. I enjoyed it so much. A tear fell from my eye at the very final scene. It was so beautiful. It was so uplifting. It was so hopeful. The music was good. The acting was good. The dancing was good. It was vibrant. And Coleman Domingo, who pulled so many fantastic roles this year, he made Mr. likable. And to see him repair that relationship with Celie by the end of the movie was fantastic. Fantasia Barrino as Celie. This girl can act. This girl can sing. I think she's not going to win an Oscar. I think she may get nominated, and I would like to see her acting career flourish after this. We will see, because wow, it is amazing. Danielle Brooks is great. Like, the whole cast. Corey Hawkins is great. I thoroughly enjoyed all the beautiful black faces that I saw in this movie. And everybody, if you have not seen this movie, I'm telling you right now, go watch it. Number 2, Godzilla Minus One. Guys, I heard so many great things about this movie. I had to go see it in theaters. It did not disappoint. If you don't like reading subtitles, it doesn't matter. Go watch this movie anyway. Most Godzilla films, and this is a Toho Godzilla film based out of Japan. It is not a part of, the modern Godzilla movies made by Legendary, a part of that MonsterVerse. This is its own separate thing. This movie doesn't really have a lot of Godzilla in it. It's about a kamikaze pilot post-World War II who returns to a, destroyed Japan and basically rebuilds his family with some girl and an orphan baby, and they're not he's not married to her, and this baby is not either their kid, but they're taking care of it and they're forming something new, and Godzilla comes back. And there's been a lot of talk about what the actual budget for this movie was, and it may not have been, as low as earlier reports stated it was, but it looks great to not be over like $200 million. Kind of like The Creator, which is probably number 11 on my list, The Creator. That had an under $100 million budget, looked great. This film is just like that. It looks great. The story's great. The fact that the story is more about this family and not really about Godzilla. Godzilla's just in the background. I think that's probably what makes this one of my favorite Godzilla movies. And it's emotional, it's heartfelt. There is one scene where a character survives that definitely should have died, but yes, thoroughly enjoyed this movie. Number 1. I know I say this is not in any particular order, but I mean, Past Lives. That's probably my favorite film of 2023. I really enjoyed this movie. Nora should have gotten that Uber. Celine's song, and I'm pretty sure this movie is based on her life. I don't know why she's getting overlooked for so many awards, because it was just so emotional. I saw this at the local independent theater, and it was only me and one other lady in the theater, and I'm just like, well, let's see what this movie's about. I hear a lot of people talking about it, and wow, so emotional, so heartfelt. I've never seen a story that made me root for a woman to leave her husband. Never, as a Christian man, would I ever thought I'd root for that. But you see these characters, and you see that they've loved each other since childhood, and their lives just went totally different directions, and just the world pulled them apart. And even in the movie, her husband's like, dude, I'm the bad guy here. I'm the one stopping you guys from being together. And the emotions felt are real. And never at any point is there any cheating going on. That's not what this movie's about. This movie is just about two people who belong together, who do not end up together. And they do not give in to any sort of temptation like that. And you're like, it guts you in the heart. Celine Song did a fantastic job, and I hope her career as a director, as a writer, as a creator continues to flourish. Greta Lee, great performance as Nora, and the Korean guy. TOU. He plays Hai Sung. Great performance as well. He's just so endearing, so heartfelt. I think he also started Decision to Leave. But yes, this was just a really emotional, touching film. And I definitely recommend anybody who likes those type of movies to watch. And that is my list. That is my top 10 favorite movies of the year. I'd like to thank you guys for joining me. You can read the reviews for I didn't review them all, but if I did do reviews, you can read it or watch them on the website, flipfrogllc.com/flixfrog. Remember, you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Reddit. And please, pretty please, make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, Facebook page, anything and everything Flipfrog, Flipfrog Books. Make sure that you subscribe. We hit over 200 subscribers this year. We need to hit over 300 next year. So make sure that you subscribe. And until next time, I'll be seeing you.